Welcome to the 21-day devotion toward spiritual synergy.
Fellowship is fundamental. Let's set the context. It reaches way back to the beginning in Genesis 1 and 2 in the creation story where we find God at work. From the beginning, he was hovering over the face of the earth and it was void, but he began to speak. His work was in his word. His word created something out of nothing. And God saw the potential in what was not yet. And so he began a good work in you. But this you has never been, nor is it now, singular. This you is not for the individual, it's inclusive. It's not about the person, it's about the people. It's an important part of this journey for you to understand that God created you and I to live in community with believers. In other words, we were designed to do life together. That's what Paul means when he used the word fellowship. It can mean partnership, promotion, or participation. And each word will fit, but I like the one the New American Standard Bible uses, participation. It suggests that there was no space for spectators and no room for people who refuse to get involved. Family, being a Christ follower means that you make a commitment to community. For the believers at the Philippians church, Paul says two things about them. First, Paul says, I remember you in prayer. Then Paul says, I thank God for you in prayer. Have you ever thought about that? Perhaps Paul was thanking God because of how they participated in the gospel. You see, a simple background check on the church at Philippi will reveal that this church had in its spiritual DNA two traits. First, they were a praying church. Second, they were a church that believed in the power of a people who would participate in the gospel. And if we're going to be who God has called us to be, and if we're going to do what God has called us to do, we've got to develop these two traits.
Philippians chapter 1, verse 3 through 5. I thank my God in all my remembrance of you, always offering prayer with joy in my every prayer for you all, in view of your participation in the gospel from the first day unto now. Take a moment for prayer. Take a moment for application.